It was a disastrous end to the last episode as our unbeaten run came to an end and two of our key players got injured. We're looking to bounce back against top of the table Luton Town in today's episode, though. It is episode 54 of the Redmont Rangers Road to Glory career mode here on EAFC 24. Let's get into it. So, top of the table, Luton Town are our first opponents in today's episode. It's a home match against Luton at Redmont Arena. We currently sit just 1 point behind them in the table. Luton Town have won 7, drawn 3 and lost 1. They've scored 17 goals and conceded 7, giving them a goal difference of 10. We have also won 7 games, but we've drawn 2 and lost 2. We've scored 2 more goals than them, but we have also conceded 2 more. So we do also have a goal difference of 10. Just 1 point behind them then. We're looking to go 2 points ahead of them today with a victory. This is going to be the lineup. We have pretty much our strongest 11. Josh Key, Caleb Taylor, Jesse Cartwright and Burke Rees are at the back. However, Oscar Duarte is coming in for the injured Barley Mumba, who is going to be out for 3 months with a broken toe injury. We're going to go with Michael Garber in midfield alongside Jamie Shackleton today. And then Alex Petit, Daniel Jefferson and Eli Just up front. Eli Just coming in for Keane Lewis Potter, who's also injured, out for 3 months as well. So 2 really key players are going to be missing for us today. Joe Powell is coming onto the bench in place of Lewis Baker. And other than that, it's pretty much the usual in terms of lineup. So Luton Town are going to line up also with 5 at the back, but they're going to play a 5-3-2 rather than a 5-2-3. They are going to focus on the wing. I think this is something we noted last time we played them. They're set up very narrow, but their tactical vision is wing play. So they're really going to have to press those fullbacks forward if they do want to focus on attacking down the flanks. They have won their last 3 games, and they are a 3.5-star side. And again, very well balanced Luton Town by the looks of it. So I imagine it's going to be a tough test. We are at Redmont Arena, so we are the home team. I think we're probably just going to give Luton their home kit as well here. I think that will probably be the better option than the black, since although our kit obviously is red, it does have a decent amount of black within it as well. So let's jump into the game, see if we can kick things off here with 3 points against Luton Town. Daniel Jefferson, a fantastic start to the season. Scored 2 in his last game. I don't think he's close to being top of the goal scoring charts just yet, but he is obviously comfortably our top goal scorer. And potentially he's not going to be too far behind those at the top of the goal scoring charts in the Championship. He wasn't last time I looked. However, he has notched a decent number of goals since then, so he could have risen up the ranks fairly significantly since the last time I checked in. So we'll see how Luton Town set up here. Already they're pressing very aggressively. Josh Key had the ball at his feet for barely a second before a Luton Town player had come barreling towards him. Jamie Shackleton also pressed very aggressively in midfield there, but does well to maintain possession. And Josh Key finds Alex Petit, wriggles away from the Luton Town defender, and finds Michael Garber in the box. I think that took a deflection on its way out, but the referee disagrees, just gives a goal kick. And I think it was Michael Garber just kicking the ball into the ground there. It looked like a deflection from the initial angle. So looking to take top spot from Luton Town today. There's a number of other teams in close proximity who are looking to do the same, I would imagine, in their own games. Luton Town themselves obviously looking to hold on to top spot. So should be a very tightly contested fixture. As the last episode was against Norwich City, it was a very good game. One of the better games of the season so far. As Norwich City were victors, winning 3-2. A Josh Sargent goal late in the game securing it for them. But we certainly held our own against a team who are certainly Championship opposition, but who have been in the Premier League in the not too distant past. So we gave a good account of ourselves, and although we didn't win the game, I was certainly pleased with the performance, particularly in the first half. So a completely new left-hand side for us today. Barley Mumba and Keane Lewis-Potter both injured in the last episode, both out for 3 months. So we're going to be without them until about January. Daniel Jefferson's stolen the ball away here. Cuts inside, but read well by the Luton Town defender. So it's going to be Oscar Duarte at left wing back and Eli just at left wing today. Oscar Duarte, a very young player. One of the lower overalls in the entire team now at just 66. So we're going to see if he's able to handle the step up in competition. He did play a decent amount in League One. But we are facing a much higher level this year in the Championship. And Luton Town, I feel like I've said that about most of our opponents so far this season, but you'd have to imagine one of the better teams in the league this year. I would imagine not the best team. I think that's probably Bournemouth. But I think probably one of the best teams. Going to be amongst the top 5 to 10 teams in the league, I would say. Certainly a team who are looking to get themselves back to the Premier League. And they're looking to establish themselves as the best team in the league early here, as they do hold on to top spot as it stands. Daniel Jefferson again in the box. He's so dangerous from these corners, and so is Caleb Taylor. Ultimately, the ball bounces up and into the net off the Luton Town defender who was on the line. But it was Caleb Taylor's header towards goal that forced the ball towards the net in the first place. And again, it's an early goal for Redmont Rangers. Caleb Taylor sandwiched between two Luton Town defenders. But he was the first and really the only player to jump and challenge for the ball. The header's over the goalkeeper, and it's actually off the hand of the Luton Town defender. So potentially a penalty if the ball didn't end up going into the net. But into the net it did go, and it is a 1-0 Redmont Rangers lead. This time from Caleb Taylor. Not a name that I've said very often at all after a goal has been scored in this series. In fact, I don't remember ever scoring with him. It's possible that I have and I've just forgotten about it. It's certainly possible that he scored in simulation as well. But in terms of plays that we've actually scored with, Michael Garbutt is in the box with a chance for a second. He was offside, so it wouldn't have counted. But the header straight at the goalkeeper in the end, and he is a good distance offside. Barley Mumba has also cropped up with a couple of goals so far this season as well. And I think Josh Key might have also scored at least one. So we've had some good contributions from our defenders in terms of goals so far this season. Luton Town trying to get back level though as they approach the Redmont box really for the first time this game. Josh Key does well to just intercept there, and he just digs the ball out, trying to find Alex Petit on the right hand side. But it goes out for a Luton Town throw. And Luton with an overload on this left-hand side now. Josh Key just on his own trying to defend two players. He does a good job of it, to be fair to him. And Caleb Taylor just able to clear 3 Luton Town players in the vicinity, and Daniel Jefferson almost stole it away from them. Luton Town almost making a hash of that. Really shouldn't have been any danger for them at all. It was 3 players against 1 there in favour of Luton Town. 2 of them just kind of stood and stared at each other as the ball rolled between them, and that's excellent defending from Caleb Taylor just to knock the ball back to Roman Hewitt with his head. And Luton Town pressing high again here. We've got Caleb Taylor as a free man out to the right. He manages to find Josh Key. Chips it down the line for Alex Petit. It's a poor touch, which brings the momentum of the attack to a halt, but Redmont do manage to maintain possession. It's Eli Just who makes a good run in behind now, and Oscar Duarte finds him, but the linesman again is flagged for offside. I thought Eli Just had timed his run well, and it looks like he is just ever so slightly offside there. Just his head and his left hand potentially just breaking the plane. Eli just trying to chip the ball over the oncoming Luton Town defender, but it doesn't come off. It was an ambitious move, to say the least. And Oscar Duarte here has been beaten. It's a really, really bad cross from Luton Town, though. Ends up going all the way to their left back. That's poor from Redmont Rangers, though, and it's a really, really disappointing goal to concede. It was a goal that really didn't need to be scored there. It was just sloppy possession and then sloppy defending from Redmont Rangers. And for the second time in as many episodes, we've taken the lead and we've relinquished it unnecessarily. So just in the last episode, I was praising how well we'd been defending recently. We ended up conceding 3 goals against Norwich. And again, we have conceded a really, really poor one here. So potentially I spoke too soon. And again, Josh Key, really poor there. A chance to just clear the ball. He's tried to maintain possession, and instead he's given it straight to Luton Town. And Jamie Shackleton, same thing. Just can't get out of our own half at the moment. And another shot from Luton Town, but it flashes over. But yet again, it was Jesse Cartwright, the captain, that time. Just too slow in possession. Need to do something with it. Release it to a player, or just clear it up the field. I'm sure Hans Newman wouldn't mind the ball just being cleared out of danger. Really good pass from Jamie Shackleton. It was enticing for the Luton Town midfielder. A nice little ball from Alex Petit over to Michael Garbett. Couldn't quite find him with the pass, though. It was an interesting idea. That's something we have noticed about Alex Petit so far. Does seem to be a very confident young player. He'll take on a shot. He'll try a creative, ambitious pass. Oh, really well worked from Oscar Duarte and Eli Just, but not quite enough on the pass to get it back to the left wing back, who had made a darting run in behind the Luton Town defence. Oh, and Daniel Jefferson could be away here. Can't quite manage to steal the ball away. Luton Town do very, very well to keep the ball here. Very good in possession, I'd say. That's the difference that we've noticed most between League One and the Championship. Sides in the Championship just so much better in possession. Able to hold on to the ball. Oh, and it's a really poor pass from Josh Key. Is almost able to recover and win the ball back. Bit of space for Luton Town again, but poor finishing. He's snatched at the shot and he's just sent it over the bar. Roman Hewitt, comfortable and confident that it was going to go over. So approaching half-time here, just a couple of minutes to go, plus injury time. And again, it's been a fairly cagey game so far. Neither team have had too many clear-cut chances. Luton Town have had a decent number of shots, but they've mostly been from the edge of the area and through some fairly congested traffic. So nothing too difficult for Roman Hewitt to deal with. Alex Petit chipping the ball over to Daniel Jebison. And it's Jamie Shackleton who wins the ball in midfield. Daniel Jebison's not going to take it. It's going to be... Alex Petit's actually got 85 free kick accuracy, 79 curve. Can't kick the ball very hard at all, but can kick it accurately. It's a really good ball in from him as well, actually. And Josh Key's going to come over and collect. Just try and get the ball up this left-hand side. He makes a complete hash of it with his weaker foot, though. And just sends it out of bounds. Looks like it's going to be 1-1 at half-time then. Unless Luton can do something at the very death here, but they cannot. So, 1-1 at half-time for the second episode in a row. I feel fairly good about the way that we played in that first half. Luton Town have just edged it in terms of possession and passes attempted, but 3 shots to 3. And as we said, it's been a fairly cagey game so far with few opportunities and few clear-cut opportunities. Only 3 shots from Luton, and only one of those really, that's a bad challenge. As the Luton Town defender gets a booking, Elliot Thorpe. And only one of those shots really was one that you would deem to be one that would necessitate a save from Roman Hewitt. He was unable to save it. But each of the other shots has just been pulled wide or kind of flashed over the bar. Luton Town come away down this left-hand side, though. Josh Key does manage to block the cross. He does well to keep his arms out of the way of the ball there, just pulling them into his body and turning his body away from the cross. Oh, I take that back. The referee completely disagrees. He didn't do well to keep his arms away from the ball there. It very much looked as though he had, and I thought the referee was going to give a corner, but it's actually a free kick. And Alex Petit in acres of space on the right-hand side here. If Daniel Jebison can find him, he does just about. Alex Petit puts it back into Daniel Jebison, who gets to the ball, but a fantastic save by the Luton Town goalkeeper with his feet. I didn't think Daniel Jebison was going to get there initially, but he did manage to reach the ball ahead of the Luton Town defender. And just poked it towards goal. The Luton Town goalkeeper well positioned, and he just stuck out a foot to block it. And although we've scored already, I would say that's probably been our best chance of the game so far. Really should be 2-1 up at the moment. I think Daniel Jebison did about all he could with the opportunity. He did have to really stretch to get to the ball in the first place. And the fact that he even managed to get there is fairly impressive. And it was just a very good save by the goalkeeper that managed to keep Luton Town level here. Oh, it's a poor pass from Michael Garbutt. I'm not sure what it is about Alex Lowry and Michael Garbutt, but we just cannot get any production out of that position. And Daniel Jebison made about the worst run possible there. He just needed to find a position just around the penalty spot. And instead he ran straight towards Michael Garbutt and just kind of tried to make an overlapping run. And just dragged the defender right into the position that Michael Garbutt wanted to dribble into. So I think we are going to bring on Alex Lowry some point soon. We really do need that player on the right-hand side of our central midfield duo to be our main creative option, really. To be the player who manages to play those balls in behind for Daniel Jefferson to chase, who manages to set the wingers away on counter-attacks, those kinds of things, but it's just not happening that way at the moment. Jamie Shackleton is playing a very important role alongside Alex Lowry and Michael Garbutt. Just being that defensive presence, winning the ball back, recycling possession, just keeping things ticking over in midfield, but he's not the kind of player who's gonna pick the lock of a defence and play that final incisive ball through. It's just not his game. It's not what we brought him in for. And Alex Petit, very, very slow, cutting inside there. Just crowded out by 3 Luton Town defenders. Josh Keefe finds Brendan Clark on the right-hand side there. He'd put a good ball in, just kind of hung it up towards the back of the 6-yard box there. And he nabs the ball away here. And again, he's got a chance to cross. Just crowded out by Luton Town defenders, though. But it's going to be in with his left, and it looked like it was going to fall to Alex Lowry there for a moment. But it was dealt with well by Luton Town. And I think Petit might be offside here. He whips the ball in anyway, and the referees, or the assistant referee's flag, did stay down in the end. Oscar Duarte with an overlapping run, but Petit's unable to find him. Oscar Duarte's had a quiet game so far today. He's not been challenged too much down this right-hand side, but he's also not made too much of a difference going forward. I think that's going to be the main thing that we miss with the absence of Bali Mumba, is those attacking runs, those overlapping runs, rather than the defending. Great challenge from Luton Town there to win the ball back, and they're away on the break. Jesse Cartwright's going to have to come over and deal with it, and I think he does there. He does incredibly well. I was waiting to hear the referee's whistle, but it didn't end up coming. Alex Petit doing well just to hold the ball up. Waiting for the run of Oscar Duarte to break open, but really well worked across the field and then onto this right-hand side. And Alex Lowry is in enough space to get a shot off. And he fires it into the far corner with his left foot. It's an interesting celebration. It's not one I've seen before. Cuts inside from his right foot onto his left and fires a pinpoint accurate shot into the far corner. Nothing the goalkeeper could do about that one. Just did enough to carve himself a bit of space in the penalty area and to lash a shot across goal. And finally we start to see a bit of production from Alex Lowry. It's taken him some time to settle in. 12 games into the league we are now. And that's the first real impact that Alex Lowry has made. I'm not sure he even has an assist to his name at this stage. He may well have one or two, but none spring to mind. Of course, I don't really know if players have assists in the simulated games, so there's always a chance he picked up one or two there. But he does finally get off the mark with a really good goal that puts Redmont Rangers 2-1 up against Luton Town as Alex Lowry drives forward, finds Josh Key on the right-hand side this time. Not too much on ahead of him, so just recycles possession back to Caleb Taylor. Jesse Cartwright is going to be that pivot in the centre of defence to work the ball out to the left-hand side, and we'll try again from the opposite flank. Really poor from Duarte, just giving the ball up. It does fortunately land back at his feet, and he's got some space to cross. Alex Lowry again is in a good position. Doesn't fall to him though. Jamie Shackleton challenges, but wins a free kick. So we'll make a couple more changes here at this stage. Jamie Shackleton has put in a good performance. I don't want to bring him off just yet. So it's just going to be Samson Tavide for now on for Daniel Jebison. And Ross Barkley making an appearance for Luton Town as well. He must be close to retirement now at this stage, I would think. And Daniel Jebison off for Samson Tavide. I think it's going to be Alex Petit who tries one from the free kick here. And we're going to go there. We're going to go just over 3 bars of power. See if that's enough to get it up and over the wall, and it's not. Petit takes it down. Alex Lowry with some space to shoot again. Not a good effort this time though, and it just flies over. It was a decent position to try a shot from, but he just kind of cut across the ball as he struck it there. Well won at the back, and Alex Petit again brings the ball down and drives towards the Luton Town defence. Can't quite cut inside quickly enough. That's something I've noticed about Alex Petit. He's got some good dribbling statistics, or dribbling ratings. Oh, well won by Samson Tavide. Petit pulls it back across goal, and Alex Lowry again strikes, but it's blocked this time by the Luton Town defence. Petit has some good dribbling ratings, but he is very slow to turn. He does have good close control, but just physically he's not quite as dynamic as I would like him to be. So you can't really fully utilise his good technical ability, because physically he's just not quite quick and agile and dynamic enough in his movements. He's kind of like a Keane Lewis Potter. Good technically, good fundamentally, but not a massively dynamic athlete. So that'll be something to keep an eye on as Alex Petit progresses. Potentially that is something that we can look to address with the training plans as well. Well, not with the training plans, but with the development plans. So I don't like to change players' physical attributes too much with development plans, because I think once players reach maturity, they're not really going to get... It's not realistic that they would get very much quicker, so implementing training plans that address sprint speed, acceleration and things like that, I don't really like to do. Just because, you know, you got a 25, 26-year-old player, they're probably as quick as they're going to be. So I don't really like to continue to make my players quicker the longer they get into their careers. However, with a player like Alex Petit, 16, 17, 18 years old, they've still very much got room to grow and develop physically. You know, they're not a finished product in terms of their body, in terms of what an athlete they can be. So with those younger players like Alex Petit, as well won at the back post by Luton Town, Roman Hewitt was nowhere close, but fortunately they head her over. So with players like Alex Petit, who is only 19 years old, he's probably still got a bit of room to grow as an athlete. So I would be happy enough to give him a development plan that addresses his acceleration, maybe even his sprint speed, his agility, things like that. So that can be something that we look into as we try and make Alex Petit the best player that he can be. I think we're just going to drop into our ultra defensive game plan for these last 3 minutes or so. It's only injury time. We are 2-1 up. So I'm happy enough just to see this game out at this stage, obviously. Oh, and Burke Rees is trying his best to get us in trouble. Roman Hewitt spreads it wide towards Brendan Clark, who's in an offside position. A little over a minute left. Burke Reeser, it looks like, has picked up an injury as well. Hopefully that's one that he can just run off, because if not, that's our entire reserves that are going to be currently injured. We've already got 2 players in the reserves injured. We've only kept 3 reserves for the season. So I'm going to have to hope that Burke Reeser doesn't have an injury that's going to linger for too long. But the important thing is we've won the game. It's a 2-1 victory at home for Redmont Rangers against top of the table Luton. So a very, very good and very, very important result. And it's Alex Lowry that comes on and scores that winner. Potentially this could be a turning point for the centre midfielder. Hopefully his season can kick on from here. And the Redmont Rangers fans are going home happy today. Check out the match facts before we leave here. So, again, Luton Town edge possession. But we did far more with our possession than they did with theirs. So, deserved victors in this game, I would say. Watford win, Sheffield United draw, Bournemouth win against Coventry.
Time for a few questions.
Barley Mumba. We know Barley Mumba's out already. Will we already know how long he's out. They're talking about will we miss him if he's injured long term? We know he's injured long term. He is out for 3 months, so a little bit late on the news there. We gave ourselves something to hang on to today.
Thanks.
So let's see if we've got a notification about Burke Reeser, and we don't. So fortunately, Burke Reeser was able to run his injury off at the end of the game there. So 2 additional games to get to then. Both going to be quick simmed. We've got 3 points so far. 4 points per episode is the target. So we'll round things out with an away game at Huddersfield and then a home game against Blackburn. Michael Garber is away on international duty, and I'm surprised that Eli Just isn't the same. I guess Eli Just has been dropped from the national team. Both Eli Just and Michael Garbutt from New Zealand, and normally when one is away on international duty, the other is also away. Not the case here, however. I'm going to make some changes here because there are some players who are going to start to become unhappy with the lack of playtime that they are getting. So, going to make a couple of changes. I'm going to rotate the squad for this game against Huddersfield fairly heavily. I'm still confident that we have a better team than them, though, and we should be able to come away with a victory despite the rotated 11. And we'll see if that is the case. And it is the case. We win 3-1. Brendan Clark gets on the score sheet. Samson Tavide, and then Joe Powell comes on off. No, I didn't put him on the bench. I started him. Joe Powell scores his first goal for Redmont Rangers as well. Bournemouth with a big game there, 4-3 over Preston North End.
Some questions regarding the match.
Very high scoring game. We defended well, and that gave us the platform. What do we do differently? We work on our resilience. I say that every time when they ask us what we've done differently. So is that really different?
Thank you.
Probably not. So one final game against Blackburn. I'm not going to look at the table just yet. I'm going to quick sim this game against Blackburn, and then I'm going to check and see how the table looks. So again, we're going to have to rotate things, and we're going to have to play with a less than fit 11 by the looks of it, because we do have some players who are fairly tired. Michael Garbutt is going to come back from international duty and go straight back into the squad. And I think other than that, that's going to be what we run out with against Blackburn. So again, a bit of a rotated 11. A little bit tired and fatigued. But again, I like our chances of getting a result here against Blackburn. And we get a result, I suppose. I said we're going to aim for 4 points per episode. We've got 2 wins and a draw, so we've got 7. So we can't complain too much. Samson Tavide scores. Daniel Jefferson comes on in the second half and also gets a goal. So both of our strikers score in there. 2 goals to Blackburn as well, though. and a 2-2 draw. 2-2 for Luton Town as well was the only important result I saw amongst those. How pleased were we with the way the team responded and got back into the game after the break? We were resilient. Seems to be something we say quite often. What do we make of the team's performance? Let's say we didn't defend like we know we can, because that is something we've talked about in this episode already today. We've played a lot of games recently. We haven't really. The fixtures haven't been too congested, but let's let the boys off a little bit and give them that excuse. Baxter wants more games. Yep, I was anticipating that would probably happen at some point with Roman Hewitt and Nathan Baxter. He's fuming on the sidelines, apparently, according to the news story. So, as usual, we'll just check in on the table and the calendar before we finish up here. So, we haven't taken top spot back, but we are back into an automatic promotion place. So, Bournemouth currently lead the league with 32 points and a massive goal difference of 18, thanks to their 32 goals scored in 14 games. So, big total for Bournemouth there. Top scorers in the league so far. We're not too far behind them, though. 26 goals scored and 30 points in total, and potentially we are the second. We've conceded the second fewest goals, or the second most goals. We've conceded the second fewest goals is what I mean to say so far this season. So just 2 points behind Bournemouth, a point ahead of West Brom, and 3 points ahead of Swansea City down in fourth. Luton Town and Sheffield United round out those playoff places. So the pack's starting to spread a little now that we're getting a little further into the season. Let's look at who we're taking on in the next episode. We have Cardiff City away from home, we have Sunderland away, and we have Hull City at home. So 3 kind of mediocre teams, you would have to say, to take on in the next episode. I'm not sure which one of those I would like to play against, but we've got a game against Swansea coming up fairly soon. So that's the next big game on the fixture list that we have to look forward to. But 3 games in the next episode. We'll try and get a minimum of those 4 points that we have been saying is our target. But I think the next episode we've got to be aiming a little bit higher. I would say 6 points probably is the target for the next episode. So we'll look forward to that one. I hope to see you there, and take it easy.